Too bad I do what I do. I ain't even gonna stress off you, cause I know what I bring, to the table when it ain't with you. I got vibes for the night. I'm falling off of you. My homegirls want me to, so it's bye. You and I living good without you. Boy, watch me as I do.
Hey, you already know how the fuck we rockin'. It's another episode of Bad for the Community. I don't know why we're wearing the same clothes. Just happens to be.
I'm not wearing the same clothes.
I wasn't really
smart.
on camera last time.
I should have took my shit off.
Just start over, bro.
Sneak it off.
Nigga said, take it off, start over. Dude, like,
Nah, it's all good. It's Young Rob on the mic, Clark D to the right, Nate Nix on the table today.
yes. Hello, how are you doing?
And we got a special guest, the talented Tamera King.
Yes.
Can we all come on? We did the same thing. We got
I'm telling you.
the drink chance clap.
That
We gonna
nigga
make it
gonna send
happen.
a cease and desist our way, nigga.
Yeah, facts.
Him and the other one that no one knows.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Facts.
Who is that nigga?
But you reached out to us. You told us that you got this special project on the way, but it hasn't been announced yet.
No,
as of
I actually
now.
haven't said anything to. Only
So
you
we got the
guys,
scoop. So we got the scoop.
Sheesh.
Yeah, you did.
School.
So can we know a little bit of information about this project?
Yeah, it's a lot. So let me think. Hold on. Okay, so I made this project during the pandemic. Of course, like during this time, literally it was just me, Clark, Guy, and we were just making music. So at first, in the beginning, it was just very like organic. I just wanted to sing. But then the pandemic really allowed me to like look at myself in the mirror, and like a lot of my past traumas or just things that I didn't really like about myself started to come to the forefront. And with that happening, it was like, damn, now I gotta like work on myself and like put in work. So then the EP came about called Traumatized Lover. And I just realized
It's called Traumatized Lover.
Yeah, Traumatized
That's
Lover.
fire.
Thank you. So basically the project is just about me confronting my past traumas when it comes to relationships. So each song is kind of like a result of a trauma, I guess. And I realized during the pandemic, I was like indulging in a lot of trauma responses. I was projecting a lot, and I didn't really know where it was coming from unless I sat myself down and reflected and like prayed. And that was really, really hard for me to do because no one teaches you how to like heal yourself.
Facts.
And no one teaches you that you kind of have to if like no one like guides you in a way. And I feel like I come from a household where it's like, don't tell anyone how you're feeling. Just like feel it, experience what you're experiencing and move on. But I was like, nah, like I can't continue to carry out this cycle for myself and like the people that I'm connected with. So that's kind of how it started.
Breaking them generational curses.
Yes,
You
that
feel
was
me?
my goal.
So if we taking it back, when did you realize like, yeah, this shit at singing? Because if you've never had the privilege of listening to Tamera perform live, you got a beautiful
Fucked up.
voice.
Thank you.
You're super dope.
You said when did I realize it?
Yeah, when
Oh, okay, I know. Okay, so I started.
Yo.
Okay, so I started singing in the choir when I was like 8 years old, and I was a very, very shy child, so I hated being in front of an audience. But I think the day I realized I knew how to sing was when I wanted a solo in the choir, and they said no. So I was like, okay, bet I'm not gonna be in it. So I left because I wanted the solo. So I think maybe then. I don't know.
at that moment, that's when you knew.
Honestly, probably. But then my brother-in-law, he got me in the studio when I was like 15, but I started rapping.
Oh, he was rapping first. So there's a rapping bag that's
Y'all ain't know that.
Not at all.
I ain't know that. Niggas made her quit rapping.
Yeah, so I started rapping on SoundCloud. Don't ask me to do any bars.
I need the links.
she was
I
fire.
need the links.
Yeah,
I need the
she
links.
was
I need the
fire.
links. I need the
On
links.
SoundCloud
Yeah,
to this day.
she could borrow out anybody type shit.
So we gonna hit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I need the links.
I actually started doing that, and then you can tell how that happened.
Oh, so basically she was rapping and she was hot. Like she was.
She outbarred you?
No.
I was really about that. I was like, so who's the better rapper? in the-
So basically she was like, but she's just aggressive as fuck. Like, well, yo, she was on some like real Fields Corner shit. Like real like you get what I'm saying when I say that type shit.
That's why I'm like, yo.
So literally we doing a summer program, right? And then she.
Oh no,
I won't say that.
Okay.
But basically, she showed me that she wanna rap, whatever. And then when we first met or first connected, it was really to work, like on music. And then obviously like we started getting to know each other, dating, et cetera. And then basically I told her one day, I'm just like, yo, stop rapping. You know, just
so he's the one who killed your dreams.
it's not that I killed her dream. I just said,
He
yo,
said there's only
got...
one rapper in this relationship.
No. So she had a song.
You
She had a
saying?
song. She had a song called Promise. And when I heard the song, and she had another song called Double Take, I was like, why the fuck are you rapping for? You get what I'm saying? Because you have an amazing voice. Why are you rapping?
But is there the possibility of combining those two?
Both
Now, because now I'm realizing I really, really loved rapping. Like, I don't know if I like it better than singing, but rapping, it kind of like, it brings out a different energy. Like when I'm performing too, I turn into a whole different person.
Word.
So I definitely do want to like go back and like combine the two worlds and see how that sounds.
That shit's fire. Yo, like I'm a huge Doja Cat fan. I just seen Doja Cat live, so I could die happy. You feel me? So basically, like
being able to flow between those pockets.
Well, maybe I still need to get in them rooms, but basically, it was like the energy shift when she was like rapping versus like singing and shit. Like it wasn't just like her on stage; it's the audience too. That shit's so fire. It's like unheard of. Like it's some shit that I never even like. I would have never thought that would feel like it would feel that way being an audience member and like just like knowing the lyrics and just seeing like the shit. Just people around you, they start moving different. They start acting different. I'm like, damn. So like I definitely see what you mean for sure.
And you got 2 singles out at the moment for this project. You got You Over Me, and what's the second?
Me Over You.
My bad. No. It's about the self-empowerment.
It's
Self-empowerment. Me Over You.
Bussin'.
All right?
Yeah.
Bussin'.
Yes. And then the second single,
Show Me Love.
Show Me Love. And those are 2 slightly different perspectives. One is, you putting yourself and prioritizing yourself in a relationship, and you saying, I'm about to go chill with the ladies tonight.
Yeah.
And then Show Me Love, where you got a more open heart on this one.
Yeah.
So how do those all fit into the project, and what can we expect? What themes can we expect on there?
So Show Me Love is the first song off the project. So I kind of wanted it. I wanted to create a world where it's like you start off being in love with someone, right? Like everything's perfect, and then you get to know them, you get to know yourself, and it's just like, like there's just certain qualities that come out. Yeah. And so Me Over You is the second to last song. So Show Me Love is like, okay, I'm in love. The second to last one is kind of like, all right, like I see what you are and like what you're capable of, and I'm not really rocking with it. Now it's like me putting myself first. And I feel like a lot of times just in my relationships or just with my friends, I realized that no one was really putting themselves first. Like they were just super scared to speak up or just to put their foot down. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make a song where I'm just talking my shit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, those are the 2 worlds.
If Me Over You is the second to last track, I'm thinking that's like peak, like nigga, fuck out of here type shit. So what's the last one about to sound like? How many tracks is it? Also
7
tracks.
So the last one, It's Crazy, featuring my friend Kyla Imani. That one is another bop like Me Over You, but Crazy is more like this nigga got me going crazy type shit. Like Me Over You is like, okay, I'm over you, but Crazy is just like, like when niggas just make us feel crazy. I don't really like that. Yeah. So it's kind of like that, but that song's super fire. I made it in Boston. She's currently in LA right now, but we go to school together. But that one's lit.
So how does it wrap up that story of?
I would say, if anything, it just continues to add to the narrative, because from the beginning of the project, it's like, okay, it's kind of like this love cycle. And then I have a song called Mind Games. I have a song called Trauma. And each song is just going through different elements of my past. And I feel like many times in my past relationships, I always felt like I was crazy because I would speak up about something or... I don't know, like I just always felt crazy. So if anything, it just really adds to the narrative of the bigger picture. And I think I wanted to close off the EP with that, because I feel like a lot of women can relate, because I feel like so many people call us crazy. So I just wanted to like tie it off.
That gaslighting shit is real, no bullshit.
Yeah, gaslighting.
For sure.
We've seen it plenty of times.
Facts.
Yeah.
And what I'm always interested in knowing is like, okay, everybody says people make the best music after breakups or after heartbreak.
I am
after all that.
That says that's yes.
And it's true. We've seen amazing projects
come on now.
come from that.
Come on now.
But how does being in a relationship affect that, and what kind of emotions you're able to access? You know what I mean? How can you still tap into the heartbreak and like stuff not working out and everything, and then still, having a happy relationship?
I like that question. Okay. So a lot of people ask me that. And I think especially with this project, it's really a consumption of like my past traumas in the sense of things that I haven't healed from. So if I haven't healed from something, no matter what, I'm still internally going through it, so I can still speak on it. And so, like I said, during the pandemic, a lot of stuff was coming to the forefront. Like, dang, like I thought I healed from it, but I didn't. So honestly, God really allowed myself to just sit myself down and be like, okay, you didn't heal from this, so like you have to work on it. And it was really a long process of me just praying and like being in my room and writing songs and just going through each and every portion of that. But even when it comes to like my relationship that I have now, during the time when you're not healed, you project a lot. And I felt like I was doing that. That's why the EP is called Traumatized Lover, because I can still love someone, but I'm still going through trauma. But I needed to make this project so I can kind of close that chapter. So definitely like different music will be coming from me, but I feel like a lot of the stuff I talk about is like past experiences.
That's fire.
Okay.
It's like there's some shit that niggas say about trauma and shit where it's like even like your trauma that you have, it doesn't necessarily like leave you so much as like you kind of like grow around it. Like you seem like it was like a diagram too. I was like, wow, you know what I mean? And I feel like what I'm hearing is like for this project is kind of like you like recognizing that and like instead of trying to like circumnavigate it and like move around it, it's like being like, I know this shit's here. I'm pinpointing it. And now I'm growing around it in a way that's like calculated. So I'm like addressing it and not just letting it sit there and fester and like me kind of like stay stagnant because of it. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. And in the moment, it was super hard to make just because no one like is able to confront you the way you're able to confront yourself, because people will just lie to you. But I feel
tell
like
you what you want to hear, right?
Yeah, but like I was just at a point where it was like there was no lying. Like everything that I was going through, it just came out. So I'm glad that I make music because I was able to make music off of it. But yeah, it definitely wasn't like an easy time for me, like at all, like the whole year. And it's still something like I'm still working on continuously, because kind of like what you said, it never really leaves you. You just learn how to work around it, especially because you know, the things that you go through in your past, it makes up who you are. You just have to find a way to like break through that and like make something beautiful out of it.
How does that be my type of project?
Oh, period.
So how does that project help you kind of come to peace with all these things that you're addressing from the past?
I would say number one, it just made me self-aware. I think before I just wasn't self-aware. So if I'm not self-aware about something, if anything, I'm just going to continue to project and like be the same person that I was last year. But I think my biggest goal was I just wanted to grow emotionally. And I think this project, with everything just being so honest and vulnerable, I was like, okay, like now I'm responsible now. Like I can't hide the fact that I know this stuff about myself. Like I have to be a better person for me and like for the people around me. So yeah, it's definitely like helped me grow in that way.
So you're addressing the past traumas.
Yeah.
You've now developed the self-awareness.
Yeah.
So where are you at now? Where's Tamera at in life now? What's the music looking like now?
That's a good question because I'm trying to figure that out.
We always trying to figure it out.
Facts.
You're not alone.
Let me see. Where am I at now with my music? I think one thing that I appreciate about myself is that I continue to allow myself to be vulnerable. So my music is always going to be vulnerable. And I think the experiences that I have in this world shapes the music that I make. I've been doing a lot of stuff this year, specifically this summer, that I feel like I'm going to be able to turn into like beautiful art. But in the sense of that project, I feel like that project was specifically during a time where I was just going through a hard time during the pandemic. So that chapter is closed because I'm healed from it, I think, and I'm learning from it. But now I don't really know what to expect because I kind of just go based off of how I feel. Like I never really know. Like I just be going through the motions and
Music's
just trying
an
to figure
outlet.
it out. Yeah, like I don't know. I just do stuff.
I hate on some heat. No bullshit.
Bops.
We was in SoundCloud the other day. I heard that
bops.
shit. I'm like, yo,
Bops.
shit about to be a banger.
And you were talking,
And that's like one day of me being in there for like type shit. So like I can only imagine niggas been working for real.
Yeah, I tried.
Bops.
you got bought in the vault.
Bops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like she's
How much do
she's
you play a part in the music making?
Well, I do all her beats, mix
fire.
all her music, help her songwrite with my brother, help vocal produce. Like she writes all her
Someone
songs
say
pretty much.
family affair there. I see
I
myself.
see what you're doing there, brother. But yeah, like it's pretty much just helping her, like helping guide the vision, and overall just being a resource for her. You know, like what me and my brother try to do, we try to empower and help her be a boss. You know, so more so being a tool for her. Like, okay, you in the studio, you got someone ready to vocal produce for you. You got someone like that's ready to produce for you, offer it. Mix your stuff when it's ready to go. Help market your stuff when it's ready to go.
Word.
And just like advocate for her on the creative side, you know, and like me specifically, my role is just to executive produce all her music, you know, and just help push her and make sure that she's like in the right places sonically, and make sure that her whatever she's writing lyrically fits a certain standard, but her stories are story.
Facts.
You know, and so even like on a more logistic side, like outside of the feelings, like she's been writing a lot of bops, like a lot of like, you know, she's been playing with different melodies, concepts. Took a trip to LA. You get what I'm saying? Like, and really like honing in on her pen, you know, like, you know, that's been one thing that I've been trying to do, like with her, is just to like push her to hone in on her pen, you know, and my brother helps as well. And she's really a dog. Like she really can really outright almost anybody in a studio session, you know, on a melodic level and on a lyric level. So it's just about pushing her to get a certain amount of records. That's really my role, just to help guide whatever she got going on. She need a music video. I'm gonna boom, 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 relieve all the stress. If there's no stress, there's nothing for me to do. You know what I mean? If it's already handled, it's already handled, you know? But then it's just like, oh, I got this project coming out. I need this videographer. I need this. I want to do a show. I want to do EP release, or I want to do a listening session somewhere. I want to do whatever. I want this shit to be mixed, whatever. I say, I got you. You know, just so all she got to worry about is being creative and taking the product and turning it into like something that she could package and put out.
And this kind of leads me to like the next question, because you're in school right now, right? For like you're doing business management,
music business.
So like,
I think you said something like, yo, you're done with school. You're ready for school to be over.
Oh
shit,
my
right?
gosh, I am. Especially like I'm a senior, so like I don't know if it's senioritis or
Oh,
whatever.
senioritis for sure.
Yeah, but now
You've
I'm
been
just
done since like, I feel like
maybe the
since, like,
pandemic, I can
sophomore year.
imagine.
after the pandemic, yeah, I was like, all right, because I can do all my classes on Zoom. Why am I coming all the way to New York? New York stink, first of all.
Yeah, fuck, yo, no bullshit.
saying
New
that,
York
bro.
is fucking dirty, bro.
I say New York
I'm
is
sorry.
dusty. I know everybody,
Shout out
you
to
know,
y'all,
loves New
but
York,
damn,
they're
damn,
amazing.
damn.
how
city.
is that experience? Like being from
Damn.
Boston, living in New York.
It wasn't too much of a hard transition because, to be honest, it feels like the same world. If anything, New York is just like faster and it just stink. And there's rats. Like
Yeah.
freshman year, I was so scared of the rats because they're super big and
And
they
now
don't
you cool with
move. They don't move away from you. Like they chase after you. Oh no, I'm not.
Yo, what's good, Master Splinter? Like, you just see him every
Like,
time you come through.
Oh no, I'm not. But yeah, I would say in the beginning, it honestly it was an easy transition for me. Like I went there, I didn't have any friends, I didn't know anyone, but I'm also a social person ? So it wasn't really hard for me to like jump in and like figure it out. So it was okay.
And then being out there help you build your own network out there.
Oh yeah, but I didn't really start building my network until this year. I don't know. I think freshman year, like I was still a little girl, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure it out. Sophomore year, I don't know. What was I doing sophomore year? And then junior year, like the pandemic. But I think after I did No Label Academy, I was like, oh, this is real life. And so I feel like I just applied more pressure. So senior year was definitely the year where I'm like capitalizing off of everything.
Pressure.
You feel like you see like the direction that Family Famous is moving in, like offering your kind of like insight that you're like developing as far as like what you know from like school and what you've been experiencing in New York, like, and bringing that in. Like, do you feel like that's been kind of like impacting the momentum of Family Famous, like at the same time as like everything else is going on?
Yeah, because I feel like with everyone we work hard and we just feed off of everyone's energy. So like if he's going hard, everyone else is going hard. And the more connections that we know individually, we can like come together and foster off of it. So I think that's
conglomerate.
yeah,
Facts.
it's like a community.
Yeah, shout out.
So yeah,
I was like, good for the community for sure.
but yeah.
All right, so now, all right, so you mentioned it a couple of times. So you're talking about you had this busy summer, trips to LA, no Label Academy. You want to give us a little insight? 'Cause that's dope. That was big. Like
Facts. That shit
you
was
know,
hard as fuck.
so shout out to you for sure. Can you explain that opportunity that you had?
Oh my gosh, it was so much that happened. So if I forget anything, let me know. But basically, he started it. You sent me it was like an application.
I sent her the link to No Label Academy when
Yeah.
they posted it.
Yeah, so I applied. I was like, okay, whatever. And usually I have a lot
Can't
of
hurt,
anxiety when I apply for stuff because I always want it. But recently I've just been like, whatever's for me will happen. If not, then whatever. So I think we went through like 3 rounds of interviews. The last round,
Yeah, what type of question are they asking?
I forget. To be honest, I forget. I ain't even gonna lie.
be like that.
They was asking about like what your role in music is, like what
Yeah,
you
they wanted to
aspire
get to know me
be,
like as an artist and why I wanted to be in
generic
the
stuff.
industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say like those be the best types of interviews where you're like, I don't even know, I don't remember what they asked me. Like,
Yeah,
I
but
got that shit,
also
though.
I feel like I don't remember so much just because it was so organic. Like, you know how in
Yeah.
interviews sometimes you have to like make shit up because you
Make a
just
story
need the
up,
money and shit
yeah.
like that. It wasn't kind of like this. It was just they were literally asking me questions about myself when it comes to music. So I think it was like 3 rounds. The last round they was like, "Oh, you got it," and then IDK like popped up on the screen and he was like congratulating us or
wow.
me, and I was like, "Oh, hi, whatever." Okay, and then
So
what
this happening at Harvard.
Yeah.
IDK partnered up with Harvard.
Yeah.
To make and how many weeks was this?
No, I think it was just a week. It was just 7
Oh,
days.
10 days.
10 days.
No, they cut it short.
They cut it short. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, facts. Cause then how many people were like accepted?
Woo. Okay, so it was a mixture of like artists, aspiring executives. I believe it was like
It was 25 out of 1,500.
Yeah, and it's crazy
One.
because
And you was one out of that 25. Shout out to
shout
you.
out to God.
Yo, where's the applause at?
I'm dead.
Come on.
You don't even have to do that no more. Wow.
Nah, that's dope.
No, shout out to God. But I think what was super cool was like the people that I met, and one of the students was actually Frank Ocean's brother, but he passed away.
Yeah.
Oh,
facts.
wow. That's crazy.
But they still like paid respects to him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was definitely dope.
Wow. Okay, so what did they have you doing during this program?
Lord. So every day was a different day in the sense of like learning about the music business. So one day we learned about music publishing, financial literacy, knowing your story and like being confident in that. So every day we wake up like at 6 o'clock.
Wow.
We would be, I mean,
That's
we weren't
OD.
forced, but we would wake up at 6, we would work out with Simon. He's mad lit. Like literally, if y'all need a trainer, go to Simon, okay?
They was making niggas work out.
With beans. Like we had beans in our hands, like for weights, and we were like
That's
working out
hard.
outside. Yeah, that was so fun. So we worked out, we had breakfast, and then like we had class for like 3 hours straight, and then we would have a break, and then we had class again. But it wasn't a typical like lecture. Like literally, it was very interactive. Guests would come, like some was it like the VP of Capital, executives from Nike, Jordan, just like mad big companies would just come and talk to us. Yeah,
That's great.
and we did like multiple interactive activities when it comes to the industry. We got to talk to Rico Nasty. No, we talked to mad people, but like every day, literally, like I barely got to talk to anyone outside of that whole like community because we would get back to the hotel at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and then have to wake up at 6 o'clock. But even though in the beginning it was super, super hard because I didn't work that hard before. If anything, they just taught me discipline. I was like, damn, I gotta do this every day now because they're really doing this every single day. Like I remember IDK, he is very interactive with everything. So like the first day he came.
How often was he over there? Yeah.
Every day. Like
Every
he was
day.
with us. Like he ate with us. He taught our class. He literally everything he was a part of. But the crazy thing about him, like, so towards the ending of the week, he had a show. And I was able to open up. It was so much
That's
fun.
dope.
that's hard.
Yeah, I seen
Yeah.
I didn't
that.
know that. That's
Yeah.
fire.
House of
It was
Blues, right?
No, Paradise Rock.
Paradise
Paradise
Rock Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You open at that?
Yeah.
That's fire.
dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun.
Say that, yeah. Shout out
But
IDK.
no, because he was super present throughout the whole week. And I remember the last day he goes, y'all, like, I didn't even practice for my show, but we gonna see. Like, literally every hour of the day he was just with us. And he's super, super nice. Like, super nice, super humble. He treats everyone the same. Like, there's no, like, hierarchy or anything. So
That's fire.
Yeah,
I remember the first time I seen him in person. It was because Clark invited me to that event where he was speaking
Oh,
at.
No Label
Oh, yeah,
Academy.
No Label,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Well,
where it started.
that's
wasn't
where
it?
I
Yeah,
was
no Label Academy, right? It's just No Label.
No Label Live. Sorry.
No Label, yeah, facts.
And then they
Sorry.
turned it into No Label Academy. Yeah.
So what's your biggest takeaway from that experience?
Fire.
Whew, let me think. Oh my gosh. Because every day I had like, I actually documented my days. But
That's
every
fire.
day I reflected on something different. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let me think. I think I just learned a lot about myself. I think the experience was more for my personal growth rather than the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like I'm still feeding off of the opportunity, but I just learned so much about like how important it is to be confident in yourself, how important it is to be true to like your story because you're around so many people who want basically kind of the same thing that you want. And sometimes you just feel like, damn, like, how are you going to stand out? And I feel like I questioned that a lot during that time. I was like, damn, like, am I doing enough? But then I realized that, like, me being who I am is already enough. So all I have to do is show up.
That's fire.
So I think, I just
That's
learned,
real,
Message.
I just learned honestly a lot about myself. I would say, like, industry wise, I learned that I just have to work harder because there's people out here working extremely hard and like they don't sleep, but also prioritizing your mental health is super important.
Yeah, facts.
Because one thing about me, I need to eat and I need to sleep. Okay. That's what I need to do.
We don't prioritize it bad enough.
Yeah, gotta eat and sleep. That's why I was like, yo, we gotta go to Applebee's.
Clark was fighting for them entrees in there, man.
Was there any gems that she was passing on to you that you might have not been aware of?
Oh, nuts. I'll tell you one thing. When she told us, I was in Atlanta when she told me this too. She was like, so he had $1 million in his bank account, his first meal.
Who?
That was the day.
IDK.
And I see a lot of similarities between what I do and what IDK does, like in terms of just being like a multi-hyphenate, that like creates opportunities for others while still being very good at what they do, so, but he like is at a point where he was right and he really reached that point, so when she told me the class with the first meal, and then she told me the tax breakdown, and then she was telling me about how with his label, how he would hire his own production company to shoot his own music videos for his label. So he would buy camera equipment and then use his label budget to pay himself. And then then he would use the equipment and rent it out to his friends if his friends needed.
So he's
video
just creating all these forms of income.
Yeah, so he's basically taking the label's money
and flipping it
and actually it becoming his because he knows how to do this stuff, or he also knows how to hire professionals that know how to do this stuff. So
That's fire.
like just him being able to create his literal own table, like his own ecosystem.
So basically, he calls himself IDK as like a ruse because he does know.
Wow.
He's
IDK stands for ignorantly delivered knowledge.
I have heard only IDK songs on Madden. I do not listen to this nigga. But
He's
he seems
actually
like a real nigga.
nice. I'm
He's
not
hard.
gonna lie.
He's
Actually,
hard.
that's not true. I listened to the album that he dropped, the album before last. Shit was fire. He had a song on there with like a porn star on it.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I remember from that. That shit was hard.
That's
Though.
the only thing I remember.
With Jid.
Yeah.
Oh, he's amazing.
He had an SWV symbol on that they didn't clear.
Wait, was it a porn song or is it a song called Porno and Push It
No,
T?
Porno.
It had like samples from porn on it, and that's why I was like, "What the fuck am I listening to?"
It's called Porno.
Porno,
I
yeah, with
think.
Push It T and Jit.
Yeah.
That song's
Yeah.
fire.
I said it was hard.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn. I feel like that's why I was like, I don't know about this nigga. IDK.
No, but the whole album, if you listen to the whole
That's
album,
hard.
it's just nuts.
I love the story
From the
that
first
he's
song
telling.
where
To
it's
the
like
ending,
with the
ending.
reveal with his mom and everything.
And then if you look at the track list, it actually spells shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
ain't looked that deep into
he
it.
explained.
I
He
ain't
explained that. He explained that. Like he's really dope.
He's
Yeah.
a genius. He's
Nigga be
amazing.
thinking for real.
Yeah, and what's crazy is like it's kind of cool in a way because Is He Real was like his first step into that, like. Oh, he not perfected because no one perfects anything, but he really mastered the concept storytelling, and that's something that I aspire for all of us to be able to do is like it weave stories. He had a banger on it. He had the storytelling songs, had the features, had different vibes and was still able to like weave it all into good music. So, but yeah, I think what the thing I learned the most was just like the 1 mil thing. Another thing was just how they sleep. Type shit, like they wake up at 6 a.m. every day. It's consistent.
Who's there?
So him and his camp.
Yeah, it would be everyone. Like it wasn't just like, oh, we would have to wake up. Like he'd actually be up before us, like working out, like 5 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's going to sleep at like 1.
Think Rick Ross
How's that
doing
sustainable?
It's not.
You think Rick
Yeah,
Ross is
but-
doing that?
Rick Ross,
fuck
Rick
with
Ross was probably doing that for a while, yeah. Before
Yeah.
the thing is, it's not sustainable, but this level of success that we're trying to achieve in this music shit, she's not trying to be a mediocre boom, boom, boom. Like, nah, we're trying to take this to an inhumane level of success. Like, an average person will never see this level of success. And
For sure.
it comes with certain sacrifices. That's why I said, have your Sabbath, and obviously like in our sessions, in our creative like things, like we do prioritize rest and we do prioritize mental health, but that's after the work gets done.
Because I was going to ask, how do y'all balance that within the relationship of like work, but also remembering to like, there's more to it than just maybe the music?
Oh, me, I love having a good time. So I'm all about balance. Like I can't really fully operate. Actually, let me answer that question differently. I got that answer over the pandemic. And over the pandemic, I was kind of questioning my purpose because I thought my purpose was in music and I thought music was the only thing I was supposed to do. And then God checked me and he was like, basically, if I take music away from you, does that mean you have no purpose? And then that made me realize like, like it's so much bigger than the things that you're chasing after. So with that, I think honestly, God kind of forced me to just think bigger because music is music, but at the end of the day, you have to be happy within yourself. Like I love traveling. I love doing certain things. And if I don't do that, then in many ways I feel empty because I'm bigger than music and my purpose and my voice is bigger than music.
So what is that bigger purpose for Tamera?
Ooh, child. Okay. I guess for me, I know that I have the ability to change people's lives. And before I thought it was just music. But I think God revealed to me that I have the ability to speak to people, whether that be through like a podcast, which I want to do, myself.
Let us know.
Yeah.
I'm here. We'll give you all the tips.
No, yeah, I'm excited for that. So yeah, podcast, music. I'm super into like skincare and stuff. So like everything that I do, I want there to be a bigger message rather than it just being so surface level. And like I said before, it was a very like direct point of view of just like music being my end all be all. But I honestly just want to travel the world and like talk to people and like help people mentally and emotionally because I know how hard it is mentally and emotionally, especially like being by yourself or life is just hard and like depression is real and all that stuff is real. So I just want to be able to like reach people beyond music.
According to Clark,
I was gonna say, y'all look so different. That's just hilarious.
Yeah,
Clark,
I know.
fuck your depression, man.
I know.
Yo, you gotta
work.
put the work.
Get that shit done. Put in the out. How are you broke and depressed? You know what I mean?
I know.
He's like, nah, it's okay. I'm gonna help you heal.
It's a balance. But also though, this is why I can't necessarily speak to everyone about this shit, because at the end of the day, like I have a very specific way about this, and I think we balance each other out. And to answer your question about like the work and balancing, I think like after God, she taught me a lot about like the life outside of work. My first trip I ever took was with her. You know what I mean? Or I'm not.
We got a sound effect for that.
You need some birds, some doves. But like it's certain things in life, or let's go go-kart racing, or let's go whatever. Like ideas that me as a dude, like I'm just so work focused that I'm not thinking about that. Like it's shit I want to do with my family, shit I want to do with her, but I'm always putting like work first in a way, So I think just like if I didn't believe in God, like there would be no balance at all, and no matter what, I always have my Sabbath. And when I do have a tendency to go overboard when I work, and just sacrifice my body. And obviously I had my lung situations, my surgeries, all that, and just not learning from those experiences enough until it got really bad, taught me about like, okay, it is a balance, and then her in my life, like, she don't want to be in the studio all day. I could be in the studio all day type shit, but she might want to say, nah, I'm trying to go eat somewhere real quick, or nah, if we got the money, let's take a trip somewhere. Let's go do something cute. I'm thinking like, nah, nigga, we gotta make this fucking record right now.
But she might be on to something because those experiences are what might make
great
music.
She is on it. And this is why also, like, even though I am the way I am, I'm also not very stubborn, like when it comes to like new experiences, like she's really challenged me, like, not only as a man, but as a creative, to like seek certain experiences outside of what I'm comfortable with, because I could just be in the studio all day and let that be my life. And all I know is that, but me seeing the stuff that we're doing outside of music makes me want to go even harder because it's a certain standard that I want in my life that me and her set, just like, when we took the trip to Miami, the shit we was doing, I'm like, dude, I should be able to do this at least once a year. My niggas should be able to do this at least once a year. So if I gotta do whatever to get to that point, or if I gotta work my ass off to get to that point, okay, bet. And she is a lot nicer about the approach, and she definitely is more empathetic or appeals more to like emotions, but yes. I feel like your emotions will never leave. you'll always have emotions.
This nigga
You know,
Clark.
No, I get it,
and don't get it confused because
That's facts, though.
she's a
But,
dog.
like, damn, nigga.
She's being nice right now, but she's really a dog. Like she could be talking about feelings and being depressed, and then like if you just going through the motions and not doing nothing, she'll look at you and be
Type
like, "What are you doing right now?" Like, okay, like you know, I think, like yo, you're gonna cry about shit anyways. You know, you always gonna be sad about something. You always
put it into the music.
you might as well cry in a Benz. That's my thing. You might as well cry in a Benz.
Yeah.
You know, bust your
It's not
ass
a bad
off.
place
You
to
know,
cry.
Cry in a bin.
you know,
Yeah,
so
that's why I fuck with Earl. No bullshit. That nigga's music be depressing as shit, but I be like, no bullshit. I be like, it's relatable content. This is nice.
Yeah, and honestly, you know, when you're in that mentality of just work, you kind of lose. You may even lose sight. Facts. Yeah, you may even lose sight of what you're doing it for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because are you doing it for the success, or are you doing it so that you can have the freedom to do these things anyways, like travel, you know, do things for your family, have all these opportunities to put people on and everything like that. So sometimes you gotta just remind yourself. So we always need a queen.
Yeah.
To rebalance, you know?
Yeah, and I think before, when it came to music, I was just doing it for myself. And I kind of like honestly just wanted the status because in the beginning, like it's cool, right?
Facts.
But then when you get into the industry and you realize that you just have so much more purpose as a human. Like music, it can make you happy, but I don't think it should be honestly like your whole entire world because there's so many components to your life that you need to experience that makes you who you are. So yeah.
No bullshit. That's one of the worst feelings in the world is getting typecast in real life. Niggas like, nah, you're just an artist. Or like, you just do this. And like, niggas, like, I feel like a lot of people forget, like, at times that, like, artists are, like, people at the end of the day. So, like, the same shit that you're going through, it's like, how the fuck you think niggas is writing songs about this shit? Like, I'm going through it too. Like, don't you understand?
Yeah.
And I feel like when it comes down to, like, curating art for other people, and this is also why I don't really like performing, it's like it really does feel like sometimes like for consumption, and it's like I personally am a person, I'm not a product. You feel me? Like I give you things and I like provide things, but I'm not a product. So it's like being able to take that step back. Sometimes you can get consumed yourself and be like, yo, I am a product, like, and I'm just moving.
That's
like
the thing. The realization is we are like, you know, as an artist, whether you like it or not, like you're selling yourself to somebody. You know what I mean? You're hoping like success comes with acceptability. You want it to be accepted by not as many people as possible, but as many paying people as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
and you don't want to get caught up in that. You feel me? It can be good sometimes to take that step back and be like, I'm more than this. You feel me? And then like trying to figure out like, what does that mean for you? You know what I mean? Like for you, it's like kind of like you said, it's just like that like message from God. It's like if I take music away from you, then what? Like what are you? Like who are you?
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
bigger than
purpose?
just Tamera the musician.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like it's always deeper than like music when it comes down to like, or even just like art in general. It's always deeper than like what you're able to create. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's like how you make people feel. Like how like what do you do to make you feel good? What do you do like to uplift the people around you? Like what are you doing for your community? Like where are your people going because of you? And like you know all these things. It's like all these questions that we ask ourselves. I feel like they're just important reminders that we're not just our art. You feel me?
And a lot of people put like celebrities and artists on a pedestal because kind of like
we know that.
I like getting free shit though. No bullshit.
No, but
They giving me free food and shit. I was like, yo, I'll take that shit. No cap. Like, that's
no,
me.
but like in the sense of like worshiping them. Like honestly, I thought celebrities were like a different kind of like I didn't think they were human until I'm dead ass like until I saw Beyonce live. And I was like, wait,
I mean,
she's
she might
like a real person.
I was gonna say Beyonce.
She might qualify as unhuman.
She's very human.
She's God level.
Let me God at least.
Nah, she's very, very human. And I saw her and I was like, oh shoot, that humbled me because I was like, wait, everyone's just we're all the same person.
It's not wild niggas be paying to see other people.
In many ways, like paying to see other people.
Like damn,
it's like
that's kind of cool though.
We
made it so far as a species. You feel me?
Facts.
That's crazy.
No bullshit.
Wait, so what was it about that performance that made you have that realization that she's just a person?
Well, shout out to my aunt because I have front row seat.
Oh shit! What
so
a
I was
flex.
able to like actually see her.
She said the rest of y'all was looking at the jumbotron.
Yeah, but like when you're really there, like you just see her, and then I was like, dang, like she's breathing in the same air I'm breathing. I honestly, it was that simple. I was like, oh, like she's just a regular person.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, okay, bet. Like, I don't ever want to get to the point where honestly people like worship me as an artist, because like it really has nothing to do with me. And like the music is really not, of course it helps me, but I want it to like push the narrative of other people's lives. Like I don't want it to be like, oh my gosh, Tamera. Like I hate when people do that, honestly, because it just makes me feel uncomfortable, because it's just really not about me. Like I get I'm the face of it, but at the end of the day, like I'm not the message behind it.
Type shit.
So yeah,
I feel like a lot of artists be uncomfortable with that.
yeah.
I personally, but me, I'm just like, I don't know. I would much rather be known for like the fucking like when I see like the youth that I worked with, when I see like them getting like recognition and shit for I feels good to me. I'm like, oh wow, nice. You know what I mean? It feels like I'm getting that. But when people are doing it for me, I'm just like,
yeah, it's a little weird.
And that's great to have that self-awareness at such a young age. You know what I mean? Because there are people who are maneuvering in this industry and they're just looking to please other people, and they're not doing what's happier for them. So, you know, if you're saying that music's not the end all be all, it's just the means to whatever end you're looking for, what is that bigger, you know, and what are you looking to do
so
with this?
I'm really into like mental health and stuff. So I don't really know what it looks like for me, but I don't know. Like I see myself traveling the world and like honestly talking to people just about shit that they go through, because people get paid for that. Okay, like that's a real career. So I don't know. Like I just always knew that I was here to like change people's lives, and I honestly believe I'm supposed to be on stage singing. So like a lot of people are like, oh, do you just want to songwrite? Because like being famous is overwhelming, which honestly I don't think I really have the choice, because being on stage, like it feels like I'm supposed to be on stage, delivering a message. And so like I hope to like be on different stages, like delivering messages and talking to people, but I honestly just want to talk to people, because so many people don't have anyone to talk to, and a lot of people are just scared, or no one really opens up that space for them. So I want to be able to do that.
I think I noticed that in your sets too. Like you do a lot to like engage your community, like engage the community that you're building there. It's not just like, oh, I'm about to sing at you. You know what I mean? It's like sing with me, and I mean learn the lyrics, and also like let's like we're building together in this moment. You feel me? Like you be asking questions like, have y'all ever felt like, did it? Like, yeah, you like type shit.
Yeah, because if you just stare at me now, I just feel like you're like, oh my gosh, she's an artist, and it kind of separates it. But like, there's no separation. Like we're the same person. And I also like talking to my audience too. Like when I did when I opened up for IDK and stuff, I never was in front of that audience before. So in the beginning, I was a little bit scared, but I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just be myself and like talk to people. And
then it got to a point that they're singing your lyrics.
Yes, that was fun. That was like the best show I ever did. That was so much fun. Yeah.
So how does collaboration between you three and three including Gee, how does that look?
I'll answer first.
Yeah, you can answer.
Okay. So first, it looks like us being in the room. A lot of people don't know how hard that is. For us to
niggas be busy.
For all, even when we not busy, it's like mentally. It's like it's like me and Gee could be in a room, me and Tamera could be in a room, but we not trying to work on music. Or if we working on music, we working on Tamera's stuff, or we working on my stuff, or then we working on Gee's stuff. It's rare, not rare, but like the most important thing is the timing. Like, okay, we all on this type of time to create. That's the first thing, you know, being in that type of time. Second is how the beat sounds, you know? And then once the beat pretty much done, like she's already humming melodies, Gee's already humming melodies. It sounds like melody central. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And then after that, I pretty much just leave the room.
And you let her take care of
that? I just leave the room. It's even to the point where with her EV, I just stopped recording her. I just taught her how to record herself, or I'll just make Gee record her, you know? Because I'm like, I made the beat for y'all. I'm going to walk out, go eat some food real quick. I'm a hum a hook for y'all or something, and then when I come back in, song better be done, you know. And or Gee's gonna help like vocal produce, because Gee got a crazy ear for harmonies.
Sweatshop.
It be not like a sweatshop, but like I like making the beat. I like tracking and recording. You get what I'm saying? But it's also like a vibe thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like Gee is one of the best people to record with in R&B, because he just has a certain vibe that's like less about like getting the recording done, but more about like think about like a comforter versus like silk. It's like both of them cover you and keep you warm. And they're both good at what they do. Some people like silk. Some people like a thick comforter. Like, I like a thick comforter.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes Tamera likes silk. You know what I mean? So, like, when we collaborate, it's just about us being on the same page. And then, like, usually the system is, like, I'll make the beat, or me and Guy would make the beat. And since we cook up on the spot, we don't, like, pull beats up. Like, they're already humming stuff by the time it's done. Or Guy might play guitar, boom, 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 have ideas. And then once the beat's done, it's just like I just get up and then loop it until they're ready to record, and then I help songwrite type shit, you know, but I'm not gonna sing on some shit, you know what I mean? I'm not about it. I just make the beat, and then when they're recording, I'll listen over it and be like, nah, you need to do this over, or do this line over, do these harmonies over, or I like this, can you go in this direction? And then I just try not to micromanage the process, but that's with me specifically.
That's fine.
No, yeah, that's mainly the process. But I would say specifically for the EP, it wasn't that easy all the time just because of where I was at mentally. So during the time, like, it was really hard for me to record, period, just because I wasn't as motivated as I wanted to be just because of life. So sometimes, like, I would have a studio session. I'm like, okay, I'm about to make this song, I'm about to record it. And then it's just like, my emotions get the best of me. And sometimes it really is hard to, like, fight through that blockage. So I'm just like, okay, like, I just can't record. So we had multiple sessions trying to record the same song just because it was just hard. So sometimes it's very fluent, but sometimes just like, today's not my day.
So how much does their cosign matter in a way? Like, are there times where you guys might, you know, debate whether, just whether a song works or not, and you might be feeling the song and they might not, you know, how does that work out? Or do you guys always usually come to, you know, common ground on where the music stands?
We usually come to a common ground because I trust their opinion. I feel like if I didn't trust their opinion, there would be a lot more bickering. But honestly, like, they're both amazing at what they do. So, like, if they say something, it's never like, oh, it's like a horrible idea, whatever.
Yeah.
Usually it's like, okay, maybe say this or just adjust this. And I'm like, okay, bet. Like, sometimes I am super receptive, or if I'm, like, really, like, honing in on this one idea, I probably just won't let go and I'll probably do it. But over time, I'll be like, okay, I see what you were saying.
Yeah.
And then I, like, switch over.
And I asked that because, like, you know, there's songs that are not even for them. It's for the ladies, you know? Like, me over you. Like, it don't even matter what y'all think about this or whether y'all vibe with it.
That's my shit.
I'm just saying.
I'll tell you. So we're chameleons, you know? So at the end of the day, I know it's not about me.
You put your different ears on.
Yeah, so, but my ears is always on, like, unicorn. You know, it's always on chameleon. Like, music for me is music for me. And I also spend a lot of time, like, studying this shit, listening to music. So it's when she's making songs, it's not about what I like, you know? So she trusts me because she knows I'm studying this shit. She trusts Guy because she knows Guy's studying this shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, we spend days having conversations about our favorite artists, our favorite songs, song structure. So then when we're in the studio, there's nothing to question. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not a tyrant in the studio. And most times if I say I'm not feeling something, like, I give a reason. You know, if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, it's not like it gotta be this way. And I'm not the type, I hate when niggas do this shit, like, that don't see a song through. Yeah. You know, I'm not that type of person. When we start the beat, I gotta know before I finish the last stem on the beat if you're fucking with it. If you're not, let's pull another one up. Cause I'm not about to sit here for 2-3 hours with you for you to not finish the song. Every song we do, we gotta finish. Specifically with her type shit. So whatever it is, like, and again, like, me and Guy have a specific level of, like, cohesion when we creating. Like, that's why I step out the room when they're recording. You know, because it's a chef thing. Like, I know my role. When we working on her shit, I know my role. You know, like, I'm not trying to be all over the place and not let niggas do shit. Matter of fact, I'm trying to do less. You know, I'm trying to make her record and stuff, so I don't gotta record. I'm trying to make Guy mix, so I don't gotta mix. I'm trying to do less. You know, so I can just come in and say, oh, do this, do this, do this, and that's it. You know, Guy is already amazing at what he does. You know, and I try to remove my pride from a certain situation, or I try to make my pride, I try to make my pride like, I try to put my work ethic before my pride. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
If I'm doing the work and I'm studying the art and I'm studying the music, I'll know why she did something a certain way, or I'll know why she should do something a certain way. But if I'm not tapped in to what niggas is dropping, to what the sound of music is today, then I can't really tell her nothing about anything. And that's what it is. And there could be a time where I'm not tapped in and she's more tapped in than me, you know? There's time we work on songs and I just make the beat. I have nothing to do with the recording process. Nothing to do with the melodies. And then there's other songs where I'm like way more involved. Or I say, yo, I want you to sing like this. Or I want you to say this lyric instead. Or I want you to... One thing we did, for the project specifically, I said, we're not going to write a song unless we have a setting. Like if you listen to Come Show Me, like if you listen to the songwriting, it's very context-based, you know?
Show Me Love.
Show Me Love, my bad. Show Me Love, yeah, my bad. So when you listen to Show Me Love, it's very context-based. Like you say you want to meet me on the east side, bring me around town, show me what you like. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's like, if we're not... He
said, I ain't singing like that necessarily.
Like, you get the gist.
Yeah, you get the gist.
That's something like that.
Yo, Gee, where you at, bro? But basically, like I said, if we not stamping a time period on a song or project, what are we doing? You know, so a lot of time when we songwriting too, we saying like, so like, what place are you at right now? Or is there like a part of your life or story in your life you're trying to channel? What does it smell like? What does it feel? Gee's really good with this. The beat might be done in 15 minutes and they spend an hour talking, you know, just talking before
even creating anything.
That's content development right there. Like that's like such an important step of like curating the sound and curating like projects specifically. Like that's something that I feel like a lot of people are like, they want to skip over the process. You know what I mean? They're not willing to take the necessary steps to like create like you said, it's a period piece. Like everything that you make in the moment should be a period piece. You feel me?
That's a great way, a period piece. Thank you. Yeah.
I feel like I work with the youth artists at T, and I'm always like, that's something that we do all the time. They're like, why don't we? Let's get in the studio. I'm like, yo, relax, cool. Like we gotta take time. Like I'm asking you questions. We're having a conversation right now to figure out like, what do you mean by the things that you're trying to say? Like, what are you actually trying to convey?
Be more purposeful.
You know what I mean? You feel me? Because purpose, I feel like, it's almost like a lost art in like today's music and like in the industry overall.
That's for damn sure.
You know what I mean? People like they have it, but it's not conveyed all the time. You know what I mean? I feel like we're artists at the end of the day, so it's like we're storytellers. You know what I mean? Like it meant the world to me one time. Like fucking after a show, somebody called me a griot. Nigga, I was like, what the fuck?
What's a griot?
Yo, what does that mean?
That's like, it's a storyteller. Like someone that's like, you know what I mean? Part of like that traditional, like carrying on like story.
I thought you were talking about
fact, exactly.
I was like,
but like that shit meant the world to me because it's just like.
So that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're not calling me fried pork, nigga. Like,
I was confused. I was like, yo. That's very haram. That's very haram.
Like, whoa. But type shit is like, you know what I mean? I feel like that's what we're working to bring back. You know what I mean? In the way that we're like putting attention into our music. So like hearing that is like, it's very like, it's affirming one, but also it's just like, it's reinforcing like what we had talked about. Like what we always talk about, that like the shit that we're doing right now in this moment is like building infrastructure for like ourselves, for our people, for the artists that are to come, and for the city. You know what I mean? That shit's fire. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Take on that though. Like, one thing we try to do at least is like make timeless music.
Yeah,
you know?
That should always be the goal.
I feel like though, contrary to popular opinion, I feel like plenty of timeless music has been coming out over the past 5 years in our generation at least. And so like, even with somebody like Drake, and Nothing Was the Same, you know, like classic. I feel like it's a classic album, but the most important thing is it brings you to a time period. Like whenever I listen to it, it's a time period. You know what I mean? I'm hearing Come Through and I'm in a place. I'm hearing From Time, I'm in a place.
I still remember the shorty that I felt,
right.
You know, when I was seeing Connect to over FaceTime. You know, I remember those times.
And this is what we try to bring into the creative process in a way, you know, because like that project was intentional, you know, or there's songs out, artists out today that this is a sport to us. You know, like
for sport,
we really athletes in this music shit. Like she's really an athlete. You know, he's really an athlete. Y'all are really athletes. Like, we treat this shit like, yo, put up your 500 shots. I'm telling Tamera, like, your EP's not done until you have 20 songs. I don't care about how many songs you put on it.
Yeah, we'll
I
curate
said
that shit.
it's not done until you got 20 songs.
I heard you.
And that's what it is. You know what I mean? Because we athletes, you know, it's your job to increase catalog, you know. And so I think in the creative process, like, just like capitalizing on the time period she was in, obviously it's not a great time period, but it's a great learning situation, a situation to learn from. And obviously you're not there anymore.
Yeah,
right? You're not there anymore. So it was good that we made the songs we did, because sometimes the storytelling might have been right, but the melodies or just the vibe might have been a little off, or not for the actual story. So you want to have a bunch of drafts before you come up with your Mona Lisa, you know? So that's really our process in the studio, you know?
That's how I feel when I listen to like Control from SZA, like that album, The Force.
yes.
But it's like, there's so much timeless shit about that project that in the moment, like, I ain't even peep. You know what I mean? Like, when, like, 20 something, like, that's a song where it's just like, at the time, like, I'm 20 something, dope. All right, cool. You know what I mean? But it's like, now, like, for every generation of people that are coming up that are like in their 20s, it's like, damn, this is like, it really do feel like this. No bullshit. God bless them. No bullshit. Some
God
real
bless
deal
them.
type shit. You know what I mean? And then also like recognizing like, and the way that she structured the album, like she was making that as like a time capsule for like the time that she spent with her grandmother and shit. You know what I mean? And that's so fire, because I feel like a lot of times when you're making music, it's like, it's a very like, it's a self-centered action. It's like, I'm using this to heal me, or I'm doing this because like I haven't heard songs like this, so I want to hear these songs. This is the type of shit, like this shit's fire to me. But like she was making that shit and being like, this is how I feel, yes, but this is also indicative of like who has brought me here and who's guided me through this shit. And like, what does my community look like in the moment? And what community am I building? Where do I want to go? Who do I want to be with? You know what I mean? And I feel like, you know what I mean? From the sounds of it, like this project is, you know what I mean? Like a very like introspective project for sure. But it's also just like putting that stamp on it and making it so that as you move forward, you don't forget where you came from. And you always have this to come back to and be like, this is where I was. So now it's like reflection. Like anytime you drop after this, like, look how far I've come. You know what I mean? Type shit. That's fire.
No, yeah, for sure.
So,
one more thing too.
what's up?
On the business side though, this has been an important album or an important EP, because like it was our first time doing an actual rollout, you know, or actual like a lot of we was in a schedule where we was doing a music video or photo shoot a month for about like 6 months type.
Okay.
And then we in the studio about like once a week, every week while she's in school, you know? So basically like a lot of the stuff that's coming out we did last year. She came up with the treatments. We went over it together, planned it with Athol, scouted locations, did all that to create a world around the project.
Fire.
I think that's super intentional. We can't skip over that, only because like it's a separation between where she was at before and where she's at now. You know, when No Label Live or No Label Academy picked her, that's the labor of her hard work in a way, like, because they see like, oh, even though she's not doing 6 million monthly listeners, they understand that like, oh, she's branding her music a certain way, she's putting out certain types of content, you know what I mean, like, or
That's
her
fire.
releases,
The foundation is there.
yeah, or
That's
she
fire.
does Me Over You, she has a music video, she has a rollout, she has in studio videos, she has breakdown videos, like that's all content, like we literally have this all documented like in paper. This is something very important that we might overlook, because we always love talking about the creative process, but like it was very regimented. Like this her whole EP was very regimented.
Fire.
Everything that down to the photos that she's using to roll out, down to her content schedules, down to her running ads on some of the music videos, down to whatever. That's like a system we set in place, you know, and we use this like as a proof of concept. Okay, so this performed better than the last one, or at least now she's bigger than she was when she was dropping her other stuff. She's bigger than she was before she dropped Me Over You. So we was obviously doing something right, you know. So it's stuff like that that's also important. Like we're logging, we're gauging all this stuff. We're having meetings. We're talking about, okay, you want to do this? Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Here's what you need to be doing in the music. Here's what you need to be doing when packaging the content. Like that's super important. That was very important.
So, question for Tamera:
Yeah.
what do you hope the people who take the time to listen to this album take away from it? Is it an album? Is it a project?
No, it's an EP.
EP.
Yeah. What I hope. Honestly, I just hope that people find the strength within themselves to look at themselves in the mirror and realize that they might not be healed from certain things. Because I think it's super easy to run away from situations and just let time, time will heal everything. Time, I mean, I don't really think it heals anything.
Yeah, that's a myth.
Yeah, because
Big myth.
you have to put in the work. And so this project is more catered to love. So I would say just be super aware of who you keep around you and who you let speak to you, because it could be small things that turn into bigger things that can end up being a form of trauma. And that's something that I reflected on in my past too. Like, I'm only 21, so like I don't really have a lot of experiences, but even like seeing how my family dynamic was when it comes to love, like all that stuff affects how you love yourself and like how you love other people. So I would say with this project, just like be honest with yourself and just reflect on where you're at in life when it comes to relationships with yourself and like other people.
That's fire.
No, that's fire.
It's not just some music right here we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just a bunch of. It's not just a
Real.
bunch of
When
tracks.
we talk about the
just put 'em in
SZA controls, when we talk about all these R&B albums, we hoping that Traumatized Lovers in that
Facts.
category. So before we get out of here, I need to know as a people don't know this about me. Maybe
This nigga loves some R&B shit.
I love R&B. I'm an R&B
I love
purist. I
R&B.
got a
Sure.
whole playlist albums. I need to know what's your top 5 R&B albums. Anybody could chime in, but definitely want to hear from you.
Shit, I got mine.
No bullshit.
I got mine in tough for sure.
Does it have to be in order?
They don't got to be in order. Just spit.
Okay, well, still over it.
Still classic.
Over it and over it.
Wait. Still over?
Still
Oh, you mean
over it
over?
already?
Yes, I know all the lyrics.
Sheesh. Shout out Summer Walker.
It's
you know what I
really
mean?
like that. For
Over
her.
is classic. That's for sure. That's a
still
fact.
over and over
What's that nigga
it.
name? Larry. Shout out Larry.
was
no.
later.
The bass stack.
Still over it.
Yo.
Ooh,
That's a lot.
I love like a lot of like urban modern R&B artists, so I'll do more current. So still over it. I'm super in love with LMA. It was a
Where's she been at?
She been in the live. No bullshit.
Listen.
I don't
What
know.
was we just talking about? What was we
know,
just
but I
talking
miss
about?
her.
What was we just? You listen.
I don't
You
know, but
asking
I
that
miss
question?
LMA.
She's about to go on a rant, bro.
No, because I literally discovered LMA on SoundCloud, and I
wow.
knew she was gonna be big.
False.
I knew she
Yeah.
was gonna be big, but she has a
LMA.
self-titled.
Yo, she's actually a crazy A&R. Like a majority
Maybe
of the
I'm
R&B
fan.
artists that I know about today,
From
she
her.
been knew about them like on SoundCloud. Like,
So seriously, where she been? Like she dropped music? Like
bro, you
doing
gotta ask her label,
been in the
bro.
UK,
It's
my nigga.
nuts,
She
bro.
been
in the
It's
UK.
nuts,
okay.
bro.
All right. What else?
And that's some shit we was talking about too. Like,
I'm thinking. Okay, still over it. LMA, self-titled. I don't think you like this project, but I like this. Kiki, you know Kiana Lede?
Nah, I don't. I can't say I do.
X.
I
I
know.
don't want to be a X.
Maybe I think.
I've heard this name like many times in the past week, but I've never heard any songs. I don't think.
No, she's fire.
She's
Kiki. What's my last one?
the last one.
My last R&B that I.
You was
really
bumping
Wait.
Tiana Taylor a lot, or
Mm.
EP.
Yeah, that was fire, but I don't think it would be mine.
You was bumping Janae a lot.
Janae. What
Oh,
was that? What was that?
Chalumbo.
Yes,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
fire.
that was fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I would say for me, I'll put Over It up there.
Over.
I'm
Definitely.
gonna put in the last like 10 years, because I still have to like do my whole R&B archive type stuff. But,
Yeah.
So I'll put Over It on there. I'll put
Let me
like
make sure my list is
R&B
valid.
albums. Oh, Lucky Day.
Lucky
Painted.
Day's
Say that.
fire.
Lucky
I put you
Day
on.
Painted. Yeah,
Full.
she put me
I
on.
love that nigga.
Yeah.
No bullshit. That
Yeah.
nigga's fucking cool as shit.
He's
I know,
hard
he's
as fuck.
amazing. Live,
So I put
crazy.
Lucky Days album Painted. I'll put Blast. Blast's album. What was that called? Not a Forever Story. It was called the one with the gray. The one with so Blast, BLXST.
Yeah.
Yeah. His last album was top 5 past 10 years. Is it right? It's not right to put Drake in this right now.
No,
I don't
Love
think he has an
Lost.
I mean, it's up to
R&B
you.
album.
R&B.
Nigga, you from Buffalo?
Huh?
The R&B.
Huh?
I
That's
never-
how all them good days. I
Oh,
saw
yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of niggas
bro.
really talk like that out there.
Blast. So it's Over It, Lucky Day Painted, Blast, No Love Lost. I'll do for who dropped this fire ass R&B album? Party Next Door.
Yo, I was waiting for you to say that.
Party Next Door.
Yeah.
man.
Yo, Party Mobile.
I liked Party Mobile, but I said past 10 years. So personally, my favorite party is either P2 or P3. You know, so like one or the other. But I did love Party Mobile. I just feel like they didn't finish with the album, so I can't even really say that. You know, but yeah. So I'll say P2 or P3. And then what's one more?
Y'all sleeping on Division?
Nah, I'm hip to Division, but it's not like I feel like their last album that they dropped was fire. I fucked with it.
Mad fire.
You know, but it's not my top 5. I'll say after.
What's his name? Giveon?
Giveon. I fucked with Giveon, but
I don't like the way that nigga sound.
He's
Giveon.
amazing.
That's like the
I don't
reason
like-
everybody fuck with
I
him.
liked his voice. I don't like the way he pronounces his words. He's some real
Hey,
Disney
yo.
shit sometimes. Like you
Are
really
you serious?
No way, you know I met you.
I mean, like
Y'all
I
gotta
fuck with
chill.
his. I fuck with him though.
He's fine.
I fuck
No,
with
he's
him.
fire.
Though.
He's
That
fire.
nigga's hard
He's
as shit, and like
he's
a lot of
very
niggas
fire.
they don't got that type of control over that type of voice. Real nigga.
Yeah, so
I
I'll
wouldn't
say
know what to do with
my
a voice
fifth
like that.
I wouldn't
my
stop.
fifth-
Acting up.
I'd have the
R&B
Starbucks cashier tight, like nigga, just send me your order.
R&B in the past 10 years.
Sir.
Sir!
Niggas is whispering
Sir, okay. Hey, he knows I was gonna put that shit heavy. So okay. Yeah, so I'll do, what was that album called again?
Which one?
Summer, Chasing Summers. Yes. Honestly, I haven't been listening to my like old shit that much, but I'll say Over It. I'll say Over It, Off Rip is number 1. I'll say Lucky Day, Painted.
Bet.
Okay. 3, Blast. No, and I might take Blast out, and I might put Tiana Taylor's EP in that type. I think Blast is in my top 10 for it.
For sure.
But it was kind of like rap and beat, kind of, you know?
Y'all forgetting a big name.
Or Frank?
Brent.
Brent?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
It wasn't my top 5 though.
Facts. It's my
Like,
top
but
5.
even-
Not forgetting anyone.
And I'm talking about his, not even just
No, he's my top 5
the
artist.
latest.
He's my top 5 artist, but in terms of
what's
like,
the one with Gang Over Love in it too?
oh, you talking about the Paradox EP? No, you talking about Saunderson.
Yes.
Yeah, so I feel like
That's actually fire. No bullshit.
my experience with Brent projects, like, I feel like there maybe be only like 2-3 songs that stand out, and I don't sit with his projects that long. And I fuck with Brent. I would sit with certain songs that long. I feel like my music could be like that sometimes. Like certain niggas might sit out with certain songs like that, but not a whole project yet. So I feel that way about Brent. Like Brent had Crew, he had the Paradox. I feel like if we talked about EPs and not albums, his Paradox EP would be up there for me. You get what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, Over It. Tiana Taylor.
Shout out to Tiana Taylor, man. Please don't retire. Don't do this.
Hey,
I know she's not done.
Don't have to go down
Then
with this.
Lucky Day Painted, Sir Chasing Summers, and then
Blast, you said?
who?
Did you say Blast?
My list kind of ugly.
No,
That
no,
is
and I'll put
crazy
one more.
list.
I'll change one thing. I'll put SZA with Control.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's it. But I feel like her
Honestly-
shit was like all on the alternative side.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
for sure.
Yeah.
I love
I feel like everything about to list is some alternative shit.
I don't know.
Except for one.
Right.
I don't know if we classify her within like those same people with R&B, but I'm gonna throw Snow Allegra's name in there.
She's
All
on
those
yeah,
feelings
R&B.
again.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sad I missed her
Tough.
perform.
And if we going throwbacks, if we going all time shit, Diary of Alicia Keys. Confessions.
That shit's hard. Karma.
Yeah, he said Confessions.
Come on.
Okay.
Goes around, comes around. She's the push.
Yeah, no,
She's
no, no.
Period.
She might have it all the time for me. That one
She's a
album
force.
right there.
No bullshit.
Summer too. Summer's a force. Summer's a force.
Summer Walker.
Yeah, and hopefully, when Traumatized, by the time you guys watching this,
Facts.
Traumatized Lover's
Traumatized
already
Lover.
out, and it's already in that conversation.
I hope.
All right.
Okay.
So I appreciate y'all taking the time
Yeah,
to
they
sit
say
with
my
us.
list.
Oh, he
Yeah,
wants to say
you
his
say his
list.
list.
He was
Yo,
waiting.
how many more names, extra names you got that we didn't say?
I have
You know you got a weird pattern.
I have Sold Out
He
by
do.
Janae. Janae, that's my favorite album. Artist. Sold Out's hard as fuck. You know what I mean? That shit got some shit. But
Yeah.
collection of fleeting moments and daydreams from Orion Sun. That shit's hard as fuck. That's one of that.
Okay.
Like that project. Like I remember listening to it on SoundCloud and being like, this artist should definitely be bigger than they are. And then like next thing you know, like she's like everywhere. Like the shit's full.
Absolutely.
Like that's the album. It might be my favorite R&B album of all time. Maybe, but then I'll put like Channel Orange on there, and then Awaken My Love is like an honorable mention because that's my shit. No bullshit.
Yeah.
Word.
Nostalgia Ultra. I feel like that's not really an R&B album. Yeah, in fact, it is a mixtape, but I feel like that's more of like alternative hip hop.
I honestly, and this might be a hot
You don't
take
fuck with
before
Frank?
you end. I fuck with Frank, but like,
Stop recording.
Whoa, he's
Stop
about to say some
recording.
disrespectful shit.
I'll be really honest,
Bro,
with
you're
you.
in the industry now.
It don't
Watch
matter.
what you say, bro.
It don't matter,
Facts.
bro.
I'm
I'm saying I fuck with Frank. I just feel like he's like a Penny Hardaway.
What does that mean, bro?
Like, you know how Penny Hardaway got injured? Oh, you really put the boo in there.
He was listening to it like he thought it was in his head. He's like,
Yeah,
he's like,
like,
yeah, hate me for this one. He's like, oh shit.
Wait, what does that mean? He got-
so you know how Penny
he ended
Hardaway
his career
is,
early
I just feel like
Calvin Johnson?
He kind of like, and everyone
because he's more Calvin Johnson than Penny Hardaway. He went out on his own
I
terms.
was saying he's also one of the best. Penny Hardaway was fire. But
Yeah.
like, niggas wasn't saying, yeah, this is the best nigga out here right now.
So I'm just personally saying that like Penny Hardaway is remembered for something. Personally, I don't think Frank Ocean's the best in much. Like I think he's fire, bro. I think he's fire. Just like Penny's fire.
Songwriting.
You know, I think songwriting he's OD, but I'm just speaking on him like his catalog as an artist.
Wait, what'd you say about Frank?
No, I said Frank is.
We're not letting you get that shit off, bro. That not happen on Bad for the Community. I'm sorry, we let a lot of shit fly. But if Frank hate it, that's
I'm
where
saying
we stop, bro.
I feel like Frank is hard. Like I really do fuck with Frank, but I also feel like he ain't see it through all the way.
Would you say the same thing with Andre?
Yeah,
That's unheard of. That's unbelievable.
I would say the same thing about Lauryn Hill too.
Lauryn Hill, I could.
I
can say
personally
that. I
just
can
feel
take
like
I'll
if-
give you Lauren, but I'm not giving you Andre. I'm
I'll
definitely
say,
not giving you
I'll
Frank.
say the same thing about Tiana. I'll say the same
'Cause
thing
when's the
about
last time Frank dropped?
whoever.
Channel Orange. I mean, looking blonde.
2018.
Yeah,
that's
bro.
not even that
That was
long
no,
ago, bro.
2018. That was 2016.
Yo,
Dude,
Kendrick.
2016, bro.
20.
Okay, but he still dropped
And
what DHL and the
Kendrick
singles and stuff like
gave us
that.
5 albums minimum.
Shit was fire though.
He gave us 5 to
But
6
if
albums.
there's anybody who's on the clock, it's Kendrick.
Okay, and he still gave us 5
Scissors
albums.
on the clock, no bullshit.
Scissors on the clock.
I'll say
OD.
Scissors on the clock.
But at
'cause
least I won't say nothing about Scissor because I know that she's still gonna drop. You know,
Hey.
and she's Frank is like done low key, or he could come out with music again. But like I'm just saying, like I just like seeing people see it all the way through. You get
I
what
feel
I'm
like
saying?
Frank.
Speaking of clocks, guys, my Apple Watch gave me a notification like 15 minutes ago. It said it's time for bed.
Okay.
You know, I got my bedtime.
Facts, no
bullshit.
That was the wrong one. It's that
Yo,
one.
Boo!
Actually, not that
nigga
one.
hit the balls. Yo, he played himself. Don't fucking touch my soundboard, nigga. Don't do that.
Clark for the community.
Yo, but this has been super dope. I'm thankful to have you guys here. You know, I'm so excited for the projects that y'all got coming, and you guys deserve everything you guys got coming because you guys work hard, clearly.
Facts, big facts.
And you know, we hope it rubs off on the viewers and they could take a thing or two from this conversation. This man just
Thank
like
you.
it's been another episode of Bad for the Community.
Bye. Thank
This
you
was
so
legendary
much.
activity.
Word.
No, nah.